This is the problem with my wife. She's very introvert when it comes to asking questions. Morning, baby.
Morning. I'm just trying to find. We have a kettle here.
What's that, Mama?
I'm trying to see if there's a kettle. I'm trying to make simple breakfast. Unfortunately, last night we weren't able to shop for a lot of things because most of the shops were closed. So luckily we have some instant noodles and we bought some bread. Got some good old peanut butter, but I need my coffee.
You know what I like about having breakfast by the terrace in Granada? You know what I like about it? I like it because I'm with my wife.
Boy.
I love you, baby. That's why. What could be more perfect than this?
The strange thing is, maybe because of Hollywood movies, right? You get this picture in your head, and this looks like Greece to me. No, actually not really.
Greece.
Not really.
Greece have nothing on Granada. It's the most beautiful. Look, it's so photogenic. You just plant a camera anywhere and you still get a beautiful shot.
That's very true. I'm really excited because we are visiting the famous Alhambra, and what I would like to see, not just because of the architecture, is the mathematical point of the tiling, and that's something that I'm really interested to see. So it's not just about.
You sound like an architect.
I sound like a mathematician.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting because he actually showed me a book, and I was going through it just now, and it's just mind blowing. Some of the information that I read about the mathematical point and on how they did the tiling.
So what's so great about Alhambra? What is it?
I think, well, I guess the author of that particular book was saying stuff like, oh, it's not as perfect. They claim that there's 17 perfect tilings of the whole place, but it's not actually because, and it demonstrates. But still, the fact, you know, and he even talks about color blindness. Because if you look at the tiling, yeah, you think that it's all symmetrical if you put it in black and white. But if you see it in color, and then you can see different shades of this and that, so it's not actually accurate about being so symmetrical because it's so different. I'm like, okay, to each in their own. But still, the science behind it and the mathematics behind it is still something that I was quite invested on, and I'm curious to see how much of what the book says is translated in what I see later on. And it's great because I think one of the interesting parts is how everyone goes to the tourist spot part of, okay, we have to go this part, but there's a lot of tilings or a lot of places around Alhambra that many miss, and that's the beauty of it, because I guess the author takes me down to the unbeaten path of seeing Alhambra in a different light.
To me, I think maybe at the time it was perfect. Back then they didn't have accurate machine to make things, to make the right geometrics. So it was perfect at the time. It was the start of where architecture can be accurate and perfect. Last time they look at they measure the time through the sun. Now, without internet timing, nobody is early, nobody is on time, nobody is late. You must just follow internet timing, which is good, which is accurate all around the world.
I'm trying to figure out what the sounds of the bells mean. Typically in a church, you ring the bell during Mass. Oh, it's Sunday today. Okay, it's Sunday today. Sorry, my bad. Because I was thinking, wow, there's a lot of weddings that's taking place today. I just realized that it's Sunday. I've lost track of time, and it's just so beautiful, right? Even the sounds of the bells is just so mind-blowing.
Yeah. They don't have a WhatsApp to everybody in the community to tell them to come to church, to use church bells.
I suppose it's just like the Azan, you know, when we call for Azan. Call for prayer, and now we've got the bells to say, come, let's go to Mass and attend church.
Unless you're deaf. Like Daphne.
Yeah, sometimes we can be deaf.
I did bread and peanut butter, Mama. So beautiful.
Okay, what?
But what you know can really be more perfect than this? The kids are here. Because we miss you girls and boy.
Yeah, we miss the kids. Rina's been sending us pictures and videos of the kids. We've been FaceTiming them. It's obviously not the same. But at the same time, I think I wouldn't have appreciated Granada, especially with the steps and craziness of walking. A lot of walking around here.
With the kids.
With the kids. So,
So kids, next time,
yeah.
when you can walk on your own and belanja papa and mama,
Yeah.
we'll bring you again. But you pay this time.
I usually start my mornings with just plain coffee, but I'm glad I had some food in my stomach, even if it was good old instant noodles.
Here we go.
I've never been to Spain, so I'm glad we narrowed it down to visiting Granada first, as I've always been drawn to the architectural wonder and rich history of the Alhambra.
Okay, we're almost here, Mama. After walking 10 kilometers.
Oh, it's not 10 kilometers. But it was quite a walk. It's quite a hike.
Here's the problem with my wife. She's very introvert when it comes to asking questions. She just doesn't go in and ask. She has to wait in queue for everybody, and then like how Isabel is also, then people cut queues and all that on front of her because she's like scared. She's not aggressive enough. This is where I come in. So this whole trip I just make sure that she organized the ticket. So I want her to learn and be more aggressive and just go in, or else people will bully her. So now we've been waiting just for her to ask. She's been hopping here, hopping there, do not know. Padahal she had the ticket in hand already, just not knowing what to do. And this is why I plan. I find out everything before we go. Now she has to re-queue again.
It's funny how I talk for a living, but I'm a total introvert when I'm on holiday. It's probably because I prefer to soak in the ambience and the beauty of the place as I immerse deep into the history and the captivating surroundings of the place.
You can smell the fir trees. Is that
Is
what
it?
it's called?
What's the other side though?
Which side? Over there?
Yeah.
More or less like this. But it has some old walls of what I believe was there back then. I'm still trying to find my way in navigating through the audio guide because everything's just so overwhelmingly beautiful. So at the same time we're listening to this and trying to hold on to my map, but at the same time should I just go just explore this really and go about it?
Apa ni?
Macam lemon.
Wow,
Oh, is it orange?
I think it's a lemony orange.
I'd suggest booking your tickets online way in advance as Alhambra is a popular tourist destination. I booked as the morning slot as the sun rays are quite harsh and there's plenty to see in and outside the many halls and palaces of this hilly fortress. Alhambra is huge, 26 acres in total, so we started our tour at the Generalife, the summer palace for the kings of Granada, where the gardens are framed with flower beds, fountains and pavilions. The sun was too hot, so I took some reprieve in a little shop, holding back from buying yet another souvenir.
It's really nice. I like this, but it's only in L. They don't have it in S or M. Otherwise, I would have bought it because the material is really cooling too.
My Consuela like just now.
Now I usually do a bit of homework before visiting any attraction, but for this trip, I came with fresh eyes wanting to experience it on a different level. With just my audio guide and a basic map, I explored in awe this breathtaking rich history of this hilly Andalusian countryside. As the more I walked and stopped to admire the beautiful decor and intricate designs of the walls and ceilings, the more my curiosity was piqued, and I was getting worried that the 3 hours we had was not going to be enough.
A maze. It really helps that we had the audio guide because we didn't have a tour guide with us, so it gives us a glimpse of the history and the architecture of the place. But you really do need to spend at least 3.5 to 4 hours if you're coming here, because especially if you're like Joe and I or Azmi and I, because we like to take pictures in between and taking videos. So yeah, you really need ample time to really enjoy this place.
The design, architecture and sweeping views are nothing short of breathtaking. After a much-needed siesta from all that walking, we made our way to fulfill Azmi's bucket list for this trip. I managed to get us into one of the best spots high up in the Sacramento Hills as we made our way up to a traditional cave home. Tribute to Anthony Bourdain, I knew Azmi wanted to specifically watch the flamenco dancers in this show. I was mesmerized and wondered if Mr. Bourdain too felt the power and passion of these swift performers. After a while, my mind wandered. I found my attention shutting out on the stomping feet and arms flailing, and focused instead on the copperware hanging on the ceiling above. My attention turned to the next dancer. Was this the Maria herself taking the spotlight now? Now over 50 years in operation, this cave is one of the oldest flamenco cave venues in the city of Granada. After all that singing and shouting, I was ready to wind down.
Ni kira demi hard rock lah.
Not wanting to have instant noodles for breakfast the next day, I was on a search for something else to top up our pantry. Meanwhile, Azmi continues to soak in the evening air.
The Alhambra, even at night, looks so beautiful, man. God damn, so beautiful. This is the river Doras, where back in the olden times, that's where they get the water from. It goes up to some crazy mechanism that they have, and it's stored for the castle. Amazing.
This is Daphne Iking's channel, but basically it revolves around my family, and if you enjoy watching our videos,
press the subscribe button, please.
I went to pray. I feel almost bad for saying this, but when I went in, no one judged me. No one, because obviously I've still got my nail polish and stuff. It's so different from how I was welcomed back home,
Yeah.
where they
I'm
looked at
wearing
me.
shorts and singlet.
I know, and he just said Assalamualaikum, and you said Walaikum Salam, and he just let you go in, and the same for me. I mean, I'm not completely covered. I'm still wearing my slippers. Back home in KL, they'll say like, you know, they'll me and.
So you guys done all the part, huh?